Oh, from top 10 Hoenn Pokemon deserve Mega Evolutions list based on opinion, yours is different, whatever, comment section, blah blah. Number 10, Exploud. Man, I'm just gonna say it right now, most of this list is based on looks and aesthetics and Pokedex entries rather than how viable they are competitively. I mean, personally, the point of a Mega Evolution is to make a Pokemon better, and I think there are a lot of Pokemon in Gen 3 that have cool designs that honestly just need to be better competitive, because I hate using ugly things that are so ugly, but they're ugly. And I don't like it. Now, a lot of people are gonna think, then why would you put Exploud because it's so darn ugly? I have to disagree. As someone who's really into music and music engineering and audio, Exploud is all about that. It's explosion and it's loud and all of his attacks are based around sound and a bunch of cool stuff like that. So just for that reason, I really like Exploud because it has a lot of personal attachment to me and what I do. And I just think Exploud could be really cool if it Mega Evolves and, you know, gets better attacks, better stats. And it'll be fun to use. I mean, look at him scream. Look at him just screaming. Every attack he's just like, oh! He literally just yells at you. And you're just, oh god, sorry. Number 9. Cradilly. Cradilly is half of a Pokemon I think really deserves it. I'm not a huge fan of Cradilly, although I must admit, like everyone else, if you watched a certain video from Dookie Shed about Cradilly, you probably have a newfound love for it.
Speaking of dicks, Cradilly has 8. How many fucking dicks do you have? Less than 8, bitch!
But Cradilly also seems like something that's probably just going to happen. With its Storm Drain ability and its interesting move pool all revolving around the poison coming out of its dicks. It just seems like something that could be really useful and interesting to use. And also when you take it into Pokemon-Ami, you can... actually, that's just kind of gross. Number 8, Metagross. Metagross is a longtime favorite of a lot of people and is super useful and competitive. I'll admit I'm a little bit biased. I used to hate Metagross because it just seemed too robotic and too personality free. And my reason for liking it might be wrong, but as it was represented in the anime, it was super jolly, it was super happy. There was a point in the Deoxys movie where Brock accidentally hugged it and it was just so stoked. It was adorable, and I'm just like, okay, I love Metagross forever and always now. But regardless, Metagross grew on me after using it a lot more as well, and I just think a Mega Metagross could be something terrifying with all the nightmares of steel murder. Number 7, Crawdon. There's something about Crawdon I just really like. I've used him a little bit in battles before, and he holds his own moderately decently, and I think he deserves a little extra something to help him hold his own even more. I just think he was a better shellfish Pokemon than Kingler was, and I know I'm gonna get flack for that because, oh, this is Gen 1, this is Gen 3, and you ate Gen 3, but I don't eat Gen 3, and everyone's wrong, and... But again, Crawdon is a Pokemon that I just think is kind of interesting. It has a cool design, it has a decent move pool, and I think a little bit of a boost would help. Number 6, Swellow. Man, I gotta tell ya, I'm not a huge fan of recycling the idea of Route 1 birds over and over and over again. Granted, it makes sense, but I feel like a couple were just a little lackluster. Gen 1 was the first one with Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot, and it's not like they're gonna recycle something the first time. And Pidgeot's one of my favorite birds. Now, granted, it might be because it's Gen 1, I'm a little bit biased, but I feel like most of the birds after that were just a little whelming. You know, like things are overwhelming, things are underwhelming, it's just whelming. Hoothoot and Noctowl were okay, and I understand that it was to introduce the mechanism of day and night in-game. The P-Dove chain was interesting, but it didn't really make a ton of sense to me. And I'll admit the Talonflame chain is pretty cool, but the fact that Talonflame is so broken and so abused has made me just grown to despise it. With that being said, Tailo and Swellow are two of the most adorable birds I've ever seen. And in addition to that, I don't know, it's a really cool design, and it's interesting that it's a 2-stage rather than a 3. Plus, I mean, look at Swellow's attack animation. Look at that. That is the true essence of bird. Just coming in and swooping in for your soul. Plus, look how adorable it is when you pet its little wing. I also feel like out of all the birds, Swellow probably deserves it the most because it is the most unique in the sense that it doesn't have a 3rd stage, and this would kind of give it a 3rd stage, but kind of not. I don't know. Swellow always stood out as a bird to me, and I just think that, hey, Mega Evolve it. Make it Sweller. Oh. I'm gonna use that. Number 5, Cacturn. If you watch any of my other list videos, you'll know that I'm a sucker for dark and ghost type Pokemon, and Cacturn just encompasses the entire feel of dark. Look at this shady ass guy. Look at this guy you wouldn't trust your kid with. But my favorite thing about Cacturn is definitely its Pokedex entry that reads, it follows people wandering around in the desert, and when night comes and they fall asleep, Cacturn will crowd around you and just... well, you know. That's one of the scariest things I've ever heard of, and if this thing Mega Evolved, I feel like it should encompass that and use that concept a little bit more. It is a cactus, it is a plant, so maybe with the Mega Evolution, it can grow more limbs, it can turn into some kind of form of like multiple cactus. It should somehow expand and use that gang group factor to intimidate you. Number 4, Mightyena. Man, there's not much to say about Mightyena except that it is just a badass dog that got gypped out on a Mega Evolution when they were handing him out. The other dark dog got it. It didn't even turn into a Cerberus like everybody wanted. It just got whatever these things are. These. Looks great, but I'm definitely a bigger Mightyena fan over Houndoom. I feel like it was the cooler dark dog. And look at that thing. Look at its majestic warrior locks just blowing in the wind like some kind of warrior ready to just ride in and kill. I just think that, I don't know, expanding on Mightyena would be a cool idea. I'm sure you can probably tell by now this top 10 list isn't exactly super thought out or scripted. I just kind of jumped into and said, hey, I like these things. Give them Mega Evolutions. Why freaking, I don't know, whatever. Do it. Cut. Print. Post to public. Put it on YouTube. Claim for copyright. Put that shit on private, and then everything is horrible, and you say, I don't want to make videos, and then you make more videos, and then you get more copyrights, and never end the circle. Oh, moving on! Number 3, Sharpedo. I freaking love and hate sharks. I love sharks in theory, and that they are just the feared predators of the deep, and I also am horrified by them and hate them because they are the feared predators of the deep. They're horrifying, and Sharpedo being dark water perfectly represents that. It's a great Pokemon. You take a shark, you combine it with the torpedo, you make a dark type, you put it straight into your nightmares. I've been using this thing in UU a lot lately, and it's a lot of fun. He holds his own pretty well between using Protect and the Crunch and the water blast and whatever. It's a cool Pokemon. I like him. I want him to be better. I want to use him in regular battles. I want to use more Pokemon I like, and he just can't really touch anything over UU, so hey, just make him better. I understand he's a torpedo, but maybe design-wise he can get his butt back. You know, we all deserve a butt. Number 2, Swampert. A super obvious and super popular one, especially with freaking Mega Blaziken, who didn't even need Mega. He got a Mega, he was already in Ubers, and now he's in, like, I don't know, Uber. I don't know, it's broken as hell. Get out of here. And obviously a lot of people are going to want a Mega Sceptile along with it, and though I agree that would be fair, I'm not putting Sceptile on this list because I've never been a big fan of Sceptile. Again, I didn't start in Gen 3, so I don't have any kind of nostalgic attachment to all these Pokemon, so I'm just going based on what I like now. And unfortunately, Sceptile, I don't dislike it, it just never clicked with me. But I love Swampert. This is Swampert. Shiny's pink. Give me a big Mega Pink Swampert. Give it the sap-sippin' sippery goodness Omna. Or give it a new ability and call it Intervention, in which the Pokemon tells Mega Blaziken to calm the hell down with itself. Because my god, I don't know who you're trying to impress. Number 1, Sableye. Sableye is aesthetically one of my favorite Pokemon, and in addition to that, it's my 2 favorite types, Dark and Ghost, and now it gets all the resistances and immunities. If you want to talk about something creepy, Sableye will fit the bill. I mean, Gen 6 has been able to characterize and bring all these emotions out of these Pokemon with all the animations and Pokemon-Ami and things like that, and Sableye is just the creepiest and funniest thing, and I just think it's such a solid design. It has the most personality out of any Pokemon I've seen in Gen 6, and overall, I just love the crap out of this thing. It's already viable competitively, so as far as like stat changes goes, it doesn't really need too much change about it. I don't know. I think it's already got solid everything for battle. I just want to see this thing get creepier, man. I want to see this thing get more evil. I want to see this thing get more sinister. I want to see a bigger smirk, and I just want this thing to be ready to eat souls. I mean, freaking look at him. Look at him. Look at that little giggle. Look at that laugh. The hell are you planning, man? I don't know, but it's probably evil, and I like him. Anyway, that concludes this list, so be sure to, I don't know, leave your comments. your favorite top 10 or whatever I'm supposed to say in top 10 videos. Make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be doing more top 10s as well as a bunch of other music videos all throughout this summer. I'm going to have a video at least every week. So, with that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day, week, month of your life, and I will talk to you guys soon. Goodbye!